10 changes that you will notice after turning 70. And they're not all bad, they're normal. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. I truly do appreciate it. For any of you that are new, my name is Sheila, but I go by the old girl. So anyhow, in today's video, I wanted to talk about 10 changes that you're going to notice after turning 70. Now, you may notice some of these changes at 65 or 60. It could be a different age other than just 70. But these are the big ones that I've personally noticed. So let's get on with this. I'm going to start with number 1. Physical strength and stamina. That definitely happens, and I noticed it after I turned 70. Now, I'll be 73 in May, so, I'm kind of over being 70. I'm moving on up. But I definitely noticed it, and I notice it more and more each year. It's not that you can't do anything. It's just you don't quite have the physical strength and stamina that you used to have. And that's due to bone loss, muscle mass loss, just things like that. That's to be expected. We're definitely not going to be as strong in our 70s as we were in our 30s. Number 2 is skin and hair. Our skin becomes thinner, less elastic, of course saggier, droopier, crepier, things like that. And we also notice more bruising, like if you're walking around the house and you bump your arm in the doorway or something, you're going to get a bruise. That's normal too. So it's nothing to be alarmed about or think, oh my gosh, what's happening to me? What's happening to you is exactly what's going to happen to everybody. It's normal. And with the hair, it can become thin or thinner than it is. And of course, it's turning gray. Some people turn gray much younger, but it's pretty much a given once you get into your 70s. Now, that doesn't mean that that happens to everybody. My hair has not thinned, and yes, I have some gray, but not near what I thought I would have. So we're all different. And the same with the skin. Some people just have such beautiful skin that it's plump, it's pretty, it doesn't have all those spots on it like sunspots and pigmentation spots and things like that. But again, it's all to be expected. Number 3 is vision and hearing issues. Of course, our vision does decline. Sometimes we can get macular degeneration, cataracts. You can't see things up close or focus like you used to. And your hearing can take a dive. That doesn't mean you're hard of hearing or that you need a hearing aid. It's just not what it used to be. Number 4 is metabolism. Our metabolic rate changes. We use less calories for energy, and sometimes it can cause issues with maintaining your weight. That's just another thing that's completely normal and to be expected once you hit 70 or beyond, and sometimes even younger than that. Number 5 is cognitive changes. Now, many of us remain very sharp into our 70s, 80s, and even 90s. But there are little changes. I don't know if it's ever happened to you, but I know I have walked around looking for my phone and I'm talking on it. okay? And I have walked around looking for my glasses and they're on my face. So things like that, like you walk into a room and once you get in there, you wonder, well, what did I come in here for? You can't remember. You do eventually remember, but just at that moment you don't. So that's perfectly normal. But there are things we can do to keep our memory sharp. You know, puzzles, crossword puzzles, that's Sudoku or something like that. I've never done that, but Dave does it. So don't think that you're really losing it with these kind of changes. They're all just part of the process. Number 6, sleep patterns. Our sleep patterns change as we age and as we get over 70. Sometimes it's harder to fall asleep. It's harder to stay asleep. Your sleep is disrupted, so you don't really get a restful night's sleep, which makes you low energy the next day. I don't know why those changes happen with sleep. I don't know how that is related to age, but it really is, and you can only do the best you can do. I'm not a great sleeper, so I guess that's part of it for me is the age. But I've always been a very early riser, but I've never had so many disruptions in my sleep and waking up so often as I do now. Number 7, joint and bone health. That changes. There's osteoporosis or osteopenia. That seems to be very common. There's also arthritis, just sore joints, sometimes affecting your mobility. It's not as easy to get up off the floor because your knees don't work properly. And these are all things that can happen. And there's some things you can do about it, different exercises, or you can take some medications for arthritis and osteoporosis, and you can take an aspirin or something for pain. But again, it's just all part of getting older. You know, when your body has lived 70 some years and it's taken a lot of abuse in 70 some years, these things are going to happen. But there are workarounds, like I plan to get injections in both of my knees, and that's going to take the pain away, and it'll carry me for a year or two, and then I might have to get injections again. But that's okay. I can live with that. Number 8 would be hormone changes. Now at this age, we've definitely all been through menopause. But our hormones are still affecting our body in the way it distributes fat, in our muscle mass, in our skin, in the elasticity of our skin, in so many ways. That's not so bad, is it? I mean, yes, it can be a nuisance, but again, it's the way we're designed, it's the way we were made, and these changes do happen. So that's not too bad either, in my opinion. Number 9, emotional and mental health. Now, some women actually experience and find more contentment, more joy, more peace when they get to this age and they go beyond 70. But for others, depending on their life circumstances, they may be dealing with loneliness due to the loss of a spouse and trying to create a new life for themselves and make friends, and it's a lot of big changes. And number 10 would be social and lifestyle changes. Now, after you are retired, you know, it can get better. You have more free time. You can engage in more activities and social events and things like that. But for some people, it becomes harder to make those social connections, to meet new people, to find new friends, to get a new hobby or a new interest. But we seem to come up with something, don't we? I mean, we always find something to do. And for me, doing this YouTube channel has been just great for me. A whole new adventure. So it's been very positive for me. So those are the 10 that I came up with. But I have a few others that are very positive, that are wonderful things that happen after you turn 70. So I just want to name a few of them. You have increased wisdom and experience. Those experiences that you've had throughout your years have taught you some valuable lessons, and you grew from them, and you learned from them, and you realize it. So that's a wonderful thing. Another one would be appreciation. Appreciation for the present. You learn to really value time and live in the moment and value everything that you have and everything that you have accomplished. You become more independent. Some women find a newfound independence when they get in their 70s that they may have never had before. So they kind of come out of their shell and they speak out more and they take less, and that's a good feeling. And I'll mention one more, and that is self-confidence and self-acceptance. I'll tell you, I love that part about being over 70 because you really learn to be who you are, who you were always meant to be, and you're not afraid to be that either. You know you're unique, and you know you are free to express yourself that show exactly who you are, what you like, what you don't like. You can vocalize that. You don't have to keep it inside. You don't have to go along with the crowd. You just truly accept yourself, and because of that, it gives you confidence. Confidence to try new things, confidence to dress the way you want to dress, buy the things you want to buy. It just is a wonderful feeling, and I don't believe I've ever had so much confidence and self-acceptance as I have since I turned 70. So it's really important to remember that aging is a unique experience and journey for everyone. You can make it what you want it to be. Sure, there are some negatives, but we don't have to focus on those. We can choose to focus on the positives. Challenges may arise, but you learn to look at those as opportunities and growth, and to find a more fulfilling life, more happiness in your life, more contentment. It's really not a bad time. I actually enjoy being in my 70s. I never thought about getting older or what it would be like, but it's not bad. In fact, I view it as a good thing. I would much rather have peace, joy, confidence, acceptance, and all those other positive things than to go back 30 years ago or more and be in my 30s or 40s or even 50s. I like it just where I am right now, and I hope you do too. Well, let me know in the comments section your feelings of being 70 or beyond, or even if you're a little younger than 70. Just some big changes or any of these changes that I've mentioned, if you've noticed them in your life and if you've let them hold you back. I sure hope not, because you still have a long way to go and you're just beginning on the best time of your life. Now, I'm going to leave you with an inside beauty tip. My inside beauty tip comes from Ephesians 5:15. Look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise. You know, wisdom, there's a lot to be said about wisdom. And although many people have wisdom throughout their life, man, you get a boatload of it when you get in your 70s. And I wouldn't trade that for anything. When we seek God's wisdom, we can navigate life's challenges with discernment, with clarity, with purpose, and with integrity. It doesn't get any better than that, does it? I thank you so much for being here today. I truly do appreciate it. And until we meet again, this is the old girl signing out. See ya!